And a very good evening to you. It's that kind of excitement that takes you over when you hear that same tune and it tells you that you are on Scoreboard. Now, that's a sports program that takes you around the world of sports, inside, and also a little bit on the behind-the-scenes happenings in the world of sports. We take a look at local sports and also international sports that has happened over the week. And there are a couple of things that have happened this week that we thought would be worth mentioning. Very importantly, Harambee Stars. Now, after losing to Gabon 1-2, Harambee Stars had a huge win. Well, not huge in comparison to how other teams notched huge wins, but in terms of the number of goals Harambee Stars has been scoring recently, 5-0 was very big for Seychelles. We'll be talking about that in just one while as we look at the 2026 World Cup qualifiers matches that were played in the international window. But at the same time, the Starlets went down in yet another match in trying to qualify for the Women's World Cup. But then the Safari Sevens happened in Kenya. And that is after a little bit of a lull. And now things are looking up again. We'll let you in on who won it, how they won it as well, and the kind of fun that there was at the stadium on Ngong Road for that event. The Africa Hockey Club competition goes on in Malawi, and our teams are there as well. We'll fill you in on how they've been performing down in Blantyre in Malawi. The scores have been massively big for the Kenyan teams. They're doing very well there. That's part of what we've lined up for you. And of course, I usually would want you to get involved in the program as well. So the simple question, no, it's not a question again, just send a message of congratulations to the Safari Sevens winners and also to Harambee Stars and tell me what you think will be the next step of action for the two teams. Well, that's what it is at the moment. Let's go deep into what's going on in the program. But of course, you can send your comments, your compliments to @Bernard_sports, @Kchege_sports. That's where we are at. So Kchege is here as well, the cool kid. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
How was your week?
My week has been good, has been interesting, a lot of sports. And,
spent some money you did, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Paid your barber again.
Absolutely, these things.
All right, Ken, it's good to see you,
Good to see you too, Bernard.
There's been a couple of things that happened over the week, but what worked for you this week?
So what worked for me, Bernard, was something that happened on Sunday. Well, started Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a golf tournament. There was the Kenya Amateur Golf Series at Kiambu. It was the Kiambu Open. And for the first time in the history of that tournament, a lady won the tournament. Her name is Naomi Wafula. It's quite ironical that she beat a Ugandan, Godfrey Nsubuga, in the final. Now, what is even more ironical is that is the cause of Michael Karanga, who's been obliterating everybody this season. So, yeah, that was a good thing. A lady's finally won it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you saying she also beat the man who's been obliterating everybody else?
Yes,
okay.
She did.
That's remarkable.
Really, really remarkable. Yes.
What didn't work?
What didn't work for me was, again, the football that was going. Brazil, I support Brazil. And now they suffered the third loss. Imagine, Brazil has lost. That's the first time in their history that they have lost. They lost that to Argentina. Lionel Messi.
Did you see that match?
At the Maracana.
No. Did you watch that match?
Yes, I did.
That was the most physical match you'll ever see in the history of teams that have been to the World Cup. In fact, in the history of World Cup winners.
Yes.
That was a very violently physical match, I have to say.
Yes.
Because I watched that match.
Yes.
The tackles, the pushing, the punching, the hugging.
There's even a red card,
That's why there was crowd trouble.
And don't forget, the crowd started fighting before the match.
Of course.
Yeah, so
it was terrible.
Yeah, but now Brazil find themselves 6th on the table. It's still early days, but
it's always
something
a big
is
fight.
telling. But that Brazil team we need to watch. Although I think they're going to get a new coach in May.
All right.
They've already agreed terms with Carlo Ancelotti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. You've already told us what didn't work for you. Let me tell you what worked for me. Kenya Athletic Masters team. Now, that's a team of veterans, over 50. They won 18. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10. 18 gold medals at the 14th World Athletics Championships. That is in the World Masters Championships in South Africa. Now, 58 years old Priscilla Biwott won Kenya's first gold in the 5,000 meters race. They won 20 gold medals in the 23 items that they entered. And in those 3 others, they had silvers. Rose Tatamuya, I'm looking for you. Please bring some of the veterans. We need to talk to them here. I couldn't find them this week, but I'm waiting for you and everybody else, including Priscilla. Congratulations. That is the spirit. That was quite remarkable. Now, what did not work for me? Now, former FC Leopards coach Tom Juma has demanded to be paid 9 million Kenya shillings for a unlawful termination of contract. We keep getting into that cyclical, problem. And I know Tom Juma will go to FIFA. FIFA will say FC must pay. FC will not be allowed to transfer. They'll not be able to get anything. And then and I wonder why we get there every time. But yes, that is where we are heading. The other thing that did not work for me, no, that's the one that didn't work for me. It's only one. I don't want to bring anything else. There is an athlete, a UK athlete, who was banned for 1 year. Guess for what? She took a car and drove for over 1 mile in a marathon. Believe this was of hours where you take Kofta and your band and all that. She actually sneaked into a car and drove for 1 mile.
Well, don't forget in Kenya a few years ago, we had somebody with the Standard Chartered Marathon who just showed up on the finish line.
Well, he came from somewhere in the middle. But this one took a car and drove for some miles. So that didn't work for me. But the world of sports has also got interesting action as well. Let's get deep into it now. So we start off with Kenya's Harambee Stars. The international window was on, so the Premier League was on a little bit of a break, and Kenya was playing 2 matches. One, they played against Gabon, which they lost 1-2, and then they played another one in Cote d'Ivoire versus Seychelles. Now, the scoreline, 5-0 in a World Cup qualifier. What do you make of that?
Well, basically, that is a good result for Kenya. That's a positive result for Kenya. This being the second match, and they have won, and against a team that they were expected to win anyway. When you look at the pool that they are in, Seychelles is one of the teams they're supposed to beat, okay? And then see if they can draw with another or something, and then to see Michael Olunga is back.
That's according to mathematics. The Seychelles are not very happy with you. To hear you say that's a team they're supposed to beat. What do you mean? There's no team that is put on that list to be beaten.
It's just how it is.
It's the mathematics
of things. Mathematics of it.
Yeah, because it's not lost on us that they actually. In fact, I'm annoyed at Harambee Stars. What do you mean winning 5-0? People are beating Seychelles 9-0. You're beating them only 5. Why not 7?
That was Ivory Coast, and they were playing at home. So Seychelles actually played twice in Ivory Coast.
No, they did. But it's because they don't have a stadium.
They don't have a stadium. So yeah.
But Harambee Stars also played twice against Gabon and against Seychelles. But 5-0. Michael Olunga scored 2 goals. Basud Juma had one in the 48th minute. Olunga scored
the 3rd and the 6th.
In the 3rd and the 6th. Rooney had his debut goal as well, 62. And Benson Omala also scored in that game at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium.
Isn't it a nice thing that finally Benson Omala is proving himself on that scene? He's the leading goal scorer in the Premier League.
That's him. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about why he
wasn't in the team. Now he is in the team, and I think this is a good sign.
There's been a lot of talk about him being on the team, and I think there's still the consensus that he needs more playing time to be able to fit into the international kind of game. Yeah, it's good that he played and he scored as well, but he needs more playing time to be able to to fit in there. Now, this team had also been promised some money. Remember?
Yes, they were promised some money.
Can you remember the amount? 2.5 million for each win.
For each win, yes.
So at least they've gotten 2.5 million. We're being told,
Yes.
But we are also looking at what else happened now. Kenya is still having a lot of matches to play, but these matches are well spaced because this is a 2026 World Cup qualifier. So Kenya will play Burundi in June 2024.
June of next year.
Yes.
That's after all the seasons are over, including the European season. They have to square out with Ivory Coast and Gambia. Sorry, they're playing Burundi and Gambia, I think, in next year.
All right, so this is the way it's going to go. They'll play Burundi in June 2024 and Cote d'Ivoire as well in June 2024. Then March 2025, they will play Gambia and Gabon. And then September 2025, they will play Gambia in the second leg of the match. So the next one is actually going to be in June next year against Burundi. So they need to prepare for that as well. But this is the same team that was beaten 9-0. I still have to mention it. So we should have beaten them at least 7, not 5.
Again,
goals count as well.
It's true, they count. Eventually, they may come down to goal difference. You never know. But again, remember, Kenya was playing away. So to notch a 5-0 score away from home is a good beginning. When they come here, then we can do.
If you beat someone 5, you can beat them 7. That argument is not washing.
Actually, Olunga should have had a hat-trick.
Let's leave that story alone. No, let's move on. Let's move on to the Rising Starlets. There's been a lot of action actually with Kenyan teams in football, and it's a good feeling when your teams are now getting onto the field. The Rising Starlets were trying to qualify for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, but this was halted. They bowed out 2-6 on aggregate to Cameroon. Now, they had lost 0-3 in the first